Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's good? The Boxing Source Chicken in here, and I wanted to get the thoughts from boxing fans on the WBO welterweight champion Terence Crawford. I want to know, who do y'all think Terence Crawford is slated to face next? We got, a little situation in the welterweight division right now with Errol Spence Jr. He will be facing your Ennis for the WBC, IBF, and WBA welterweight championships, most likely in either March or April. And we did, get recent news also of Virgil Ortiz Jr., who is going to be facing Michael McKinson. While Virgil Ortiz Jr. is the number one ranked contender in the WBO right now, Michael McKinson is the number 3 ranked contender. And that pretty much could settle who the next mandatory challenger for that WBO welterweight championship is. Now, of course, Terence Crawford did defeat Sean Porter by technical knockout in November as his last mandatory defense of the WBO title. So the next mandatory wouldn't be called until around September or October of next year. So that leaves some time for him to find an opponent to face here later on down the line. Now, some people have thought that he could face who is the current undisputed super lightweight champion, Josh Taylor. But Josh Taylor does have his scheduled mandatory defense coming up in February, so we gotta see how that will shape up there before we see a possible matchup between Terence Crawford and Josh Taylor. So that means you might not see Terence Crawford in the ring, for, I'd say at least 4 or 6 months. Now, if it's going to be 4 or 6 months, who would his opponent be? Especially if they're trying to set up something for the month of April. Now, some people have brought up the name Jaron Boots Ennis. I'm not certain that is going to be Terence Crawford's next fight. I know that Jaron Ennis is one of those top-rated contenders in the WBO, and also he is currently the top-ranked contender in the IBF, but not necessarily sure that would be the first particular fight for Terence Crawford while he is a free agent. Of course, we know that he pretty much announced his free agency after his victory over Sean Porter. So everyone is kind of interested to see what would be his next battle. And like I said, with Errol Spence Jr., slated to face Ennis, and with Virgil Ortiz Jr. pretty much slated to fight Michael McKinson, that leaves, only a few options out there for Terence Crawford. And like I said, maybe Boots Ennis could be in the discussion. There could be a few other guys that are out there in discussion as well. Some people kind of like mention the name Keith Thurman, but we see that Keith Thurman is going to be facing Mario Barrios in a Fox Sports pay-per-view on February 5th. So that's pretty much out until maybe August or something like that. But are we going to wait to see Terence Crawford fighting in August? I'm not sure if that is going to be a good thing or not. But, we would like to know who y'all think Terence Crawford would have as his next opponent. All right? Be sure to share your thoughts with the comments below. You could like, you could subscribe. We would really appreciate it here at the Boxing Source. And we will catch y'all here on this particular channel with more content. Until then, I'm out. Peace.